I'm interested
Yeah.
to see who you've got as striker now. Then, if you had to shoe on him in at left wing, but we'll see.
Well, I think we know who he's got a striker, don't we, Joe?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah. I gave it a second thought and worked it out.
Christopher Schindler has a chance to write his name in Huddersfield Town legend.
De Platter's got the better. Yes! And Laurent De Platter scored! What a goal, Aaron Moy! An absolute thunderbolt delivered all the way from Australia.
Return to the Mac.
Come and join the Wimps on a journey down memory lane. Hello and welcome to a special Andy Takes That Chance podcast. It's the Return to the Mac 11 episode. I'm Brady Frost and I'm joined by Tom Bradshaw and Joe Scott. How are we, boys?
Not bad, Brady. How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah,
I'm good, Tom. Good to hear Joe as well. Tom, I'm good, but we've got some sad news about Return to the Mac feature, haven't we?
Yeah, we're going to be benching it from the start of next season just because everyone was picking Aaron Moy every week. And obviously that gets a bit repetitive, doesn't it? I know as much as everyone wants Aaron Moy to return, maybe he will. We're going to give it a little rest at the start of the season. Let it recover and maybe come on as a super sub halfway through the season.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's got return in the name, so it's it's a bit like Batman. He'll always come back. So it's okay. Joe, transfer business has been a bit slow for Town compared to some other clubs, but we know Town love a former player. So, do you think this podcast will give them some ideas?
I hope so. I'm looking at my list now. There's definitely some that would improve the squad now. Yeah, let's hope Lee Bromby's listening.
I'm sure he is. But let's get stuck in. So how this is going to work. So if anyone listened to our International Town 11, it's a little bit similar to that. So we've all picked a starting 11 with former Town players. So Tom, Joe and I have a team each. There's no overlap in our teams, and we'll go through each position and pick which is going to make our ultimate 11. So we'll have a little chat. So how we're going to do that position by position to make it easier, all our teams will be playing 4-3-3 as we're the final team, and we'll also have a manager at the end too. Tom touched on it there. What we noticed in this feature is everyone picks Aaron Moy, so Aaron Moy is not allowed in this. So we'll tweet how you can do your ultimate 11s, but that's one of the rules. You can't have Aaron Moy in there. So we'll put it out on Twitter. We'll put our separate ones out on Twitter as well for a vote, and we want to hear which one you think is best. And we also want you to get involved using the hashtag Return to the Mac 11. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of your teams. Right? Did I explain the rules all right there, guys? Do we all know what we're doing?
Clear, yeah, pretty clear.
Lovely. Okay, let's get into it then. Goalkeeper. Goal, the man between the sticks. Joe. Who did you
can't pick Aaron Moy, Joe.
This is an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's probably the one position of the current team that you wouldn't actually change. Obviously you'd just have Nico in there, but yeah, I've gone for Danny Ward based on the player final heroics and decent season he had then as well. Yeah,
Welsh number one as well.
Number one. It's got
that. What did you like about Danny Ward, Joe?
To be honest, yeah, basically just because he helped us get promoted. But there's no I don't really have that strong connection to him. Like I feel with Nico. Like Nico seems to have a bit of something about him. Like he has a laugh with the crowd. Bollocks the players if they're doing something wrong, whips them into shape. So yeah, that's why it's a bit of a half-hearted attempt at this position, really. So I just want Nico.
Yeah.
No, not really making a strong case for your own.
Not really.
No.
I mean, he went out drinking in Town after we got promoted, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. That's a high
I bet they all
point
did,
on my
though,
list.
probably.
Didn't he do karaoke as well? when we went up?
I think he was singing about Chef Wednesday and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good.
Maybe he probably did karaoke. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Let's
What do you think
assume
his
he did.
karaoke song is? Let's put that up to the listeners.
Probably Wonderwall or something like that. But he sings his own name in there. Like,
Wonderwall.
but after, I'm Danny Ward. Because I don't know why that was never a town chant.
That was so bad.
It's even got save. It's even got save in the name.
Yeah.
So who's gonna save this podcast?
Do you know what?
On?
Well, all I'm gonna say is it's afternoon on Wednesday, 13th of July, when there's a heat wave, and I think we're all just suffering a little bit. So we're trying our best, listeners. Come on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Well said, Tom. Well said.
Go
Tom.
easy in the comments this time, please.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny Ward is the first choice. Tom, who's your goalie?
Joe was on about, there's only one Nico that you need him, but actually I think you're forgetting another one, Nico Vazen, Joseph. 140 games for Town. So here's another thing. I guess we've ruined this again because we're all of a similar age. So sorry, listeners, if we forget Malcolm Brown, etc. But Nico Vazen, so I just about remember him. My best mate's favourite player. He had his gloves and everything, signed gloves from Nico Vazen. But yeah, he's great for Town. He got sent off in that first ever game, didn't he? Where it was like deliberate handball. So it was a bit like, is he? What have we signed here? But yeah, what a legend he turned out to be. Then he went to Birmingham and helped him get promoted. Like he was a quality goalkeeper at that level at Championship as it is now level. And then showed his quality in the Premier League with Birmingham for a bit as well. So he's my return to the Mac goalkeeper selection.
Lovely little setup there as well. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. And please, Tom, you've gone for someone that's not from the last 10 years because we would get pelters. But I have gone for someone from the last 10 years for mine. 87 appearances for Town, 21 clean sheets. Jonas Lossell, bit of an obvious one, but just really liked him. Second season of the Prem, I think he probably deserved our player of the season. I know we didn't get that many points, but he was really good. You know, kept a lot of scores a bit more respectable than they should have been. Plus, moved back to us on loan when we were shot in the Championship and helped us stay up. So gets a lot of respect for me. I saw today in the news he's having a trial at Bournemouth as well. So could be playing Premier League football again.
Maybe you wouldn't do bad to have him on your bench, would you, in the Prem? I don't think.
No. To be fair, I remember when we did the International Town pod, we were saying all time Nichols is, has a little bit of way to go before Lossell. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's a bit more even now?
We did that around halfway through the season, didn't we? That's I do think I think he's getting there, definitely.
Yeah.
If he has as good a season this season, he takes that top spot for me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And as we've said before, Nichols is Scouse, which makes me like him just 10% more. Don't know why.
Yeah, exactly.
Something about it.
Okay, so Nichols isn't in this conversation, but we have Vassen, Danny Ward, and Jonas Lossell. So, who are we going in, lads? Who's going in?
Who we're going in with?
Yeah, who's our number one?
Ooh, it's a difficult one. I don't think Danny Ward is as good as the other two.
Okay.
Sorry. I mean, he's great at saving penalties, but in a in-game situation, I'd trust the other two a bit more.
Yeah.
Then it comes down to, for me, who do you rank a better goalkeeper out of those two? Ooh, it's probably going to be Lossell, I think, sneaking it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't remember Vassen. I just remember my dad being a very, very big fan of him, and he was more a fan of him than Lossell. So that's why I was going to cast my vote for Nico Vassen.
Oh, okay. So we're going to have to decide then who we're going for. I mean, Joe, you get. I think because these are mine and Tom's picks. Because
Yeah,
Tom
Joe,
just
you
wiped you
pick.
out straight away.
Yeah.
He's not as good. Take that one.
Go on then, let's go Nico Varson, I think.
Varson. Okay.
Yeah, so I've heard a hell of a lot about him.
Some good Town goalkeeper kits then as well. They
Yeah.
were like made, like the whole kit was padded, which looked mental. Panasonic as well, good sponsor.
Yeah. Okay, so Varson's in his Panasonic padded goalkeeper shirt. So locked in. Right back then, chaps. So unlike the International Town pod, we don't have to. We can have as many nationalities in as we want. They can even have played in the same team. Tom, who's your right back?
For me, this guy's up there as one of my personal favourites. And Andrew Holdsworth, 231 games for Town. What a legend! Can't forget that goal against Leeds, the 1-0 win on was it like a Tuesday night or something? Where, beautiful like diving header back across the goal. I just thought what a player he was, and he seemed to stick around with us when there was a few murmurs that teams maybe further up the pecking order were after him, and then maybe personally he might regret that a bit, because it was kind of one of those pivotal maybe moments in his career that he could have got to a higher level, because I think especially when we were in League One, he was a proper good right back, captained us and everything. Like I'd have him in my team every day of the week, to be honest. I'd have prime Andy Holdsworth in our squad now.
Okay, and that's a passionate plea.
Inspiring.
I'd say. Yeah, I like it. Mine is probably going to feel very flat after Tom's.
Tom's really putting us to shame.
Yeah. So I thought I'd save you, Joe. I went for Eric Durham just because World Cup winner when he joined Town. And I think people because he said I know Matt gets annoyed because he was in an interview and he said he struggled to get bread in Huddersfield or something.
Where's the bread?
But joined us in the second season. He's now at FC Kaiserslautern, but he was playing for Frankfurt.
Nickname the bread makers.
Yeah. 29 appearances in that, but he was versatile. I think that's why I put him in my team, because he could play right back, he could play left back. Just gives us a couple of options. So I realised not one of the most popular, but
didn't know where the bread was though. Didn't know where the bread was.
Oh, anyway, that's my team. I wanted a World Cup winner in the Town team. There's not many times you could say
I think he was a former FIFA wonder kid as well, wasn't he, Eric Durham?
Yeah.
He was one of them
Wonderkin.
Wonderkin.
I think Tom's trying to do his best to disrupt our right back choices. So but go on then, Joe. I'll try and stop him. I can mute him if I need to.
Yeah, false mute him. I've gone for Lee Peltier. Proper fond memories of that team he was involved in when we were like the Man City or Newcastle of League One, and we just bought everyone and spent loads of money. But I just remember him being pretty good going forward, really solid at defending as well. And I was never worried with him at right back. So yeah, I'd he might be getting on a bit now, but I'd have him as a squad player now, for sure. I think he could help us out. Was he at Cardiff most recently, or has he gone somewhere since then?
I think he joined Warnock at Middlesbrough.
Yeah, he was at Borough. I don't know if he's been released by them this season.
He's a free agent now. So Town love a free agent.
I'd certainly have him back. So I think he's sort of morphed a bit. I think he can play centre back now as well.
How old is he now?
35.
35.
But he can play right back and centre back. Need cover for Turton now that Peeper's gone.
Didn't realise he was so old.
Played 21 games last season for in the league for Borough. That's pretty. That's not
That's
bad.
not bad return.
Not bad.
That is it?
Decent, in a decent side as well.
Yeah. Okay. Strong. Who are we going in then? Because I feel like we've got a strong start. I don't think our right backs are the best. I'm surprised none of us picked Tommy Smith actually.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm picking my favourite of the right back there. So.
Okay. Well, I think Tom's going to try and go big for Holdsworth. Joe, I'm coming around to Peltier because I did like him at Town, and I also don't want Tom to have 2 out of 2 straight away.
Yeah,
I think on his day that Andy Holdsworth's better than especially Eric Durham, but Peltier on his Peltier prime was very, very good.
Yeah, he was really solid on.
Maybe we didn't see enough of Eric Durham, but Eric Durham Town, prime Eric Durham at Town. Sorry, Brady, he's the worst out of those 3.
I mean, no, because he played at the highest level of all of them. So that's just wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How many games did he even play for Town?
29.
Is that it?
Yeah.
And that was the season we got drummed every week as well. We got dermed every week.
I think he came with so much promise, right? It feels like he didn't quite reach it, which makes you a bit less remember him a bit less fondly.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. Jan Sievert came in a full season of Wagner. I would have been interested because he had a good anyway. It's right. We take so win to clarify. We're leaving a World Cup winner out to put Lee Peltier.
Yeah,
I'm gonna back Peltier, but I will say I love Andy Holdsworth, and normally anyone from that era of Town would get my nod.
I think I agree. Peltz is good. Was very good for Town. That Lee Clark era, very, very good.
Yeah, okay. Peltz is in then at right back. So centre back, first of 2. I will go first for this one because I've got 2 choices. And again, kind of that year. This is tricky because people always used to tease me on Return to the Mac for picking the Premier League players, but again, was one of the best teams I'd seen for quite a while. So it's it's easy and it's recent. Someone I think who didn't leave on good terms, but really liked him. Famously bought everyone a pint on Boxing Day. Zanka, Mathias Jorgensen. Also remember that was great because it was the World Cup 2018, and we had 3 players who played for Town went to the World Cup in Moy, Zanka, and Lossell. And Zanka scored, didn't he? First Town player to score at a World Cup.
Yeah.
So I liked him, and he was a bit shaky at first, but he formed a really good partnership with Schindler, I think. I liked him. Obviously, most recently at Brentford. I think he's still at Brentford.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, no, rated him. So
I like
he's
Zanka. Yeah,
Fair enough.
Zanka.
Yeah, Zanka.
Yeah, just a respectable. Yeah.
Joseph.
I've gone for Christopher Schindler.
Oh, big guns.
It's becoming like a bit of a Moy pick, isn't it? It's a bit like maybe it's a bit of an easy option, but yeah, for obvious reasons, Christopher Schindler. He was just the man. I know me and Brady and James, who's been on the pod, had even considered doing a little trip to Germany to watch him play there. Such as the impression he left on us. Yeah, what a guy.
He'll be back for Hoggy's testimonial as well, he said, when he left.
Really?
I wonder when that'll be.
When is that? Yeah, when is that?
I think he's it'll be this end of the season, isn't it? Is it 10 years? No, when did he join? 2013, I think, Hoggy?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like
so next summer.
Next summer.
2013, yeah.
That'd be
So
good.
there you go.
That'd be well
279
exciting,
appearances for us.
Who, Schinde?
Hoggy.
Oh, Hoggy. How many appearances did Schindler have, Joe? Seeing as how you picked him, I'm sure you've got this written down as stats that you've
I've
you've
got it written down. Schindler's List. No, that's not what I wanted.
And you can
His middle
insert
name's
some
Wolfgang.
waiting music here. Brady.
175.
Music. 175. That's
And
pretty
he's
good. That.
scored one more goal than Hoggy. 100 less games.
Yeah. That's 175. That's a good return. That
One player of the season, 2 years in a row as well.
He almost played like So when we went up, did he play every game?
Yeah.
Then in the Premier League, he pretty much played it. The only season he had a bit of an off one was the Cowley one, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
Like,
he
what a
did
machine.
look off there. Yeah.
Like, he was a bit injured, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is a legend. He's like proper legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proper legend.
Yeah, one player of the season, 2 years in a row. Both seasons we were in the Prem as well. I think we must have talked about this on the pod, but I swear he was linked with Everton when we were in the Premier League.
I think you're right, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we've said 1,000 things great about Schindler, but I think clearly beat Senka in that one. Tom?
So obviously I've got 2 centre-backs I can throw in. Like, it depends.
Yeah.
Who do I think potentially could hang on to those coattails of Christopher Schindler? I think they're both really good, but I think at the end of the day, we're probably going to go with Schindler here. But I never saw him play for Town, but I've seen him manage for Town because not many people have played, captained and managed Huddersfield Town. He might even be the only person to do that, because I don't know if Danny Schofield was captain for Town at any point. But my first centre-back choice is Peter Jackson. Just because he's what a legend, captain, fighter. Like, for me, I just think he was everything that epitomised Town, especially at the time he was there. Came from Bradford, his second spell at Bradford, which I don't think went as well, and then just like became such a Town legend. Played with all those players up at Newcastle as well. So like Gaza, Peter Beardsley, he was in that kind of team. So he was a proper good player. And I just think that's who I'd throw in as my return to the mat, because I think what you need is a fighter and a leader. And that's what Peter Jackson was. 155 appearances for Town.
So 20 less than Schindler then.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, 20 less.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good shout. I think Tom, my vote is for Schindler, because I think although Jacko's a good choice, Jacko for me, but I've got fonder memories as a manager than as a player. So I would be happy. I'm sure he'll come up in the manager's shout. But yeah, I think Schindler enters that. I think would be fair to say.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably vote for Schindler. I'm not going anywhere near Zanka though.
No, that's fair enough.
Another good pitch from Tom though. He should work in sales.
He should, yeah.
He's brilliant at this.
I've never thought about that before. Joe was like a job, sales. Go door to door selling Town shirts next season.
Well, we can, if we want to do that as a feature, Tom, we can get listeners to tweet us what they think your next job should be. Okay, so Schindler's going in then, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Is he a second centre-back choice? Go on then, Tom. You did such a good job of selling.
Am I going first? Do you know what, though, for
first.
this one, I haven't got as many notes, because I just put what a legend. That was my note, but I didn't like look at how many appearances he made or everything. But he's still going now. This guy, another Peter Clark. So 192 appearances for Town. Wow. So close to the 200. That I've remembered looking that before and being annoyed that they didn't like just keep him on for another season just so he could get his 200 appearances for Town. But yeah, another one who was just a leader and a fighter, and someone who, I don't know, he's another Scouser in here, but like he was such a Huddersfield legend, and it felt like he really cared for the club and everything. And I'd like to think that he's played for a lot of teams, but I'd like to think we're up there as one of his favourites that he's ever played for. And I like to think Town fans think that as well. As like he's up there as one of their favourite centre-backs ever.
I definitely agree with that. And I'm sure I remember the years after him, he used to, I think I heard Oggy saying on the commentary that Peter Clark could sometimes come and watch the games and stuff when he was free, which I think supports what you were saying there, Tom. Yeah, absolutely love Peter Clark.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
mine, Brady.
I mean, it's hard to disagree. I'm just looking at his career. We're the team that he's made the most appearances for, 192. Southend was the next one, which was before he joined us, where we signed him from.
Yeah.
Still going 40, just signed for Walsall in League Two.
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolute machine.
Wow. Good on him.
Not even signed as like player manager or anything, has he? He's literally. Yeah.
Yeah. So, lads, here you go. At the age of 40, so this season just gone, he was named in the League Two team of the season and PFA team of the year.
For Tranmere, wasn't it? He had,
Class.
It's crazy. It is crazy. What a career he's had.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really strong pick. Yeah, I think that's going to be hard to follow. Joe, do you want to follow, or do you want me to follow?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
I've gone for Levi Colwell.
Ooh, he's only been gone a month.
No, I miss him already.
Bring him
back. Yeah, he was just so bloody good, wasn't he? Like I was a bit. I mean, there was talk that he was really good, and we'd signed a bit of a gem. But you're always a bit unsure about an 18-year-old centre back. But Christ, when he was playing, he just looked so calm and collected, and pretty much made the right decision every time and executed it every time. There's a silly part of me that thought we'd get him back on loan this season, but that quickly went away. But yeah, that's just testament to how good he is. If we had him this upcoming season, I think we'd be in a hell of a better place.
I wonder if he'll get a sniff at Chelsea this year, because they've obviously lost Rudiger.
Yeah.
What's he called? Christiansen's gone. Aspilicueta and who's the other guy who plays centre back? They're both like 30, he's about 35.
Oh,
now.
Thiago Silva.
So like they're a bit short on obviously centre back. So I mean, it sounds like Trevor Schalleber is probably going to get a good season as centre back for them this year. So, but then I saw things that maybe they will put him in the window, and AC Milan interested potentially.
Bloody hell.
Yeah,
I think from what we saw, he could definitely make a step up. Like whether he could consistently do it for Chelsea at that age, I don't know. But yeah, he just didn't really seem to put a foot wrong, did he?
No. Apart from scoring the own goal in the final, I guess.
Oh, that's not his fault, then, is
it? Fair point.
Good pick, that, Joe. I think we get asked this. Joe and I know some. Obviously, we have some mates who aren't Town fans, and they know about Colwell. And I think we've just both said, like, can see him going on to play for the England men's team if he carries on the way he's been doing. Just
one of them.
Just a hell of a player. So interesting there. We've got the veteran in Clark and the young up and coming Colwell. I've gone for my choice. Made just 48 appearances for Town and was in midfield a fair bit, but gone on to be an amazing player. Love him a lot, Connor Cody. I want good vibes in this team as well, and it just seems like such a nice guy. Got a lot of time for everyone as well. And you know, one of my favourite things, he was obviously called up to the England squad when they reached the final in the Euros. Didn't play a game, didn't play any minutes in the tournament, and he said it was the best summer of my life. So just kind of like, and just a hell of a player, you know, like to get an England call up and score, and you know, just be such a consistent player for Wolves. Just Connor Cody, really, I think, fantastic player.
He was a class above at Town. He was so good. Absolutely loved him.
How much did we sell him for? Because when
wasn't
you
even that much.
I
I'm
know,
sure it was on like a couple of mil or something. I'm sure.
I remember being gutted. I remember being gutted when he left, because you saw something in him. It's a shame he never played centre back for us, though. I mean, maybe he did a couple, but he didn't really get a look in that position, did he? I remember he scored that beauty away at Wigan, where he's like out on the left and curled it in top corner, like right on the touchline, basically. Good pick, but this is the question, Brady. We have this with Return to the Mac. So is this Connor Cody now, or is this Connor Cody prime Town? his best he was at Town. Do you know what I mean?
I think this is probably why we're putting Return to the Mac to bed as well, because it's always up for debate. But I would say, I don't know. Well, let's say at Town. By the way, I just checked how much we sold them for. According to Transfermarkt, 2.5 million.
And that was in 2014?
15. Yeah, 15-16 season.
So it's not terrible around then, but
I mean,
what he's gone on to do.
Don't know. What do you reckon that is now? Within
8 mil?
8 mil? I mean, that's not.
I just hope we had some nice appearance fees and stuff in there, after he did a certain amount of games for Wolves or something.
Okay, so I think that's quite a tough one, really. I'm
going to put my hand up straight away and go Peter Clark.
I know you'd go Peter Clark.
I can't help myself.
Yeah, Clarky for me, of course. I think, do you know what? I've got so passionate about Peter Clark, I've even forgot who Joe said.
I went Colwell.
Yeah, probably Peter Clark for me. Peter Clark next to Schindler. Two legends.
You're not getting past that. You're not getting past that.
You're not. Yeah, true.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Okay, I'll go with you there. I think Clark was always going to win. Plus, you say I think they complement each other well. That was kind of my feeling with Cody as well. Cody can do the hard, but Clark's got to go, hasn't he? And I think I did like Peltz, but we do need to make the defence a bit better as well. There was several better people. Okay, left back. I've gone for Harry Toffolo. Just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, if you are listening to this in 2 weeks, that's probably correct, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, I went for Ben Chilwell. He played 7 times for Town, but I knew he'd go on to be a £50 million signing for Chelsea and in England international from those 7 games. No, just. Again, if we're going to use Return to the Mat logic, I suppose you sign him at the, he's in the team at the point, but you get him now when he is now. Clearly, I can't remember who you guys picked for left back, but obviously the best in his list. But what makes us interested is obviously we didn't see enough of him at Town, so there are other options. But
he was
bit of a tap in.
He was so little when he was at Town. I saw a photo of him in that luminous green shirt the other day, and it's he was such a scrawny little teenager when he was at Town. It's but he was so good. You could see the quality there. You could see the quality miles off. And maybe we didn't think he'd go on to play for England, but I think all Town fans knew he was going to be Premier League, and we'd be lucky to get him back the next season.
Yeah. Chilwell for me. Joe, because I think I'll let you go first because Tom will probably do another passionate defence. Whoever's got it left back, so you can go after me.
I went Chris Lowe or Chris Lerver. Have we reached consensus on what it is?
Lerver.
Yeah,
I thought it was Lerver.
Lerver, yeah. Again, just great memories around him and that team. And I don't remember really been having a mistake in him. He was just sort of very consistent performer.
7 out of 10 every week, wasn't he?
Yeah. Very good. What was your favourite thing about him though, Joe? Was it his defensive ability, or was it the calmness on the ball? Or he got forward quite well as well. That goal against Barnsley is quite memorable, isn't it?
Yeah, when I think of him, it's his quite short stature, but bombing forward and popping up in the box where you wouldn't necessarily expect him. He seemed to be everywhere, right? One of them players that'd get up and down the pitch. But yeah, I seem to be fondest of him bombing forward.
Yeah.
That's a really good. I like that as a shout. Again, is he still at Dynamo Dresden? I think.
Don't know where he is now. Don't know.
I think he's at Dresden. But yeah, no, I think that's solid. I think as well we've got a lot of. Probably says a lot about us, but a lot of our picks are quite solid defenders.
Yeah,
which says a lot. But yeah, Lever was one of them. Tom, who have you gone for left back?
I've got the history books out for mine.
Okay.
Because I think if you're doing Return to the Mat, there's no way you can't really bring in some proper Town big hitters like throughout history. I think it's a bit, So I have gone with Ray Wilson. I've already had one World Cup winner who didn't get in, but his option to have another one. I guess we've had 2 Town players who've won the World Cup, but did Eric Durham even play in that World Cup?
I think he was in the squad, so you technically. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's made 7 appearances for Germany. So.
266 appearances for Town, so that's already like insane. Then he went on to Everton and won the World Cup the following season, which is crazy. Arguably Town's most famous player, potentially. Like he's literally in the statue with Bobby Moore in it, lifting him up. So, here's a fun fact: spotted by Town playing amateur football for the railway team.
Oh.
And then I think he even served for a little bit before, like he signed for Town, served not in, I don't know where it was, some war conflict thing for a year. He was out somewhere. I feel like it was Egypt potentially, and then came back and became the Town legend and England legend we know he is. And passed away, unfortunately, not that long ago. Suffered with dementia, didn't he? Because I went to school with his grandson, actually. It was a lovely lad, Eddie. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was always amazing when he'd go around class and stuff. He talked about things like, "Oh yeah, my granddad won the World Cup," and you'd be like, "What?"
That's mad.
Yeah.
Also, interestingly, looking according to Wikipedia, after he retired, he was an undertaker in Halifax.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a nice little quirk. I think we'll probably anger some of the older listeners, but although he's a legend, I don't have any memory. So if you were asking me my choice, I'd go Chris Lowe.
I get that, Brady. I get that, but I was also going to say I don't know how we could say no to a genuine Town World Cup winner.
Yeah.
And we can't just pick people that we've seen play. It does limit us very, very, very much.
Okay.
So my vote's
it's one of those, isn't it? You'd love to be able to run some sort of software where you actually see how players fared now. But by all counts, Ray Wilson was like ahead of his time in the way he played as a left back as well, which I think that's what you've got to give him credit for, and the longevity of his career and everything, getting that move to Everton. Don't know. Is Brady? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I feel like a bit of a dick if I don't pick.
No, because so what we got? Wilson, Lover, and sorry, I forgot Chilwell.
I think if we're not having World Cup winner out, we've got to have Welcome.
Yeah. Let's
I
get
don't know.
Ray Wilson in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you happy with Wilson, Joe?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy with Wilson,
I'm
but
happy with
like
Wilson.
Lover and Chilwell, absolute class.
Yeah.
Like you said, I wonder what Chilwell would have been like if we'd have had him the season after. I wonder how good the quality would have been if there'd have been an improvement, because that would have been under the Wagner promotion as well.
Yeah, and then probably wouldn't have.
Chris Lover might not even have been in this poll then, actually.
Wow, real sliding doors moment. Yeah, I think. To be honest, I think I've forgotten your pick, Tom, but I think Lover would get in ahead of Chilwell, but I think Wilson gets the nod. So are we all in agreement?
Yeah.
So. Okay. Okay, so we'll move on to so far goalkeeper Vassen, right back Peltier, centre back partnership of Schindler and Peter Clark, and we've got Wilson at left back. So let's move on to the middle of the park, midfielders. So we're playing 4-3-3, as we mentioned. Who's your first choice, Joe? You can do this however you want, because I know when I've proposed this to Matt before, he likes to go, well, it's actually a 4-3-3, but I've got someone at number 10, someone at defensive mid. That's how Matt talks famously.
Yeah.
So anyway, who's your
Yeah.
first choice?
I'm not going to get into that too much because I haven't really picked a defensive midfielder at all.
Okay.
I'm first up for me is Michael Collins.
Oh, yes.
170 odd appearances for Town. Oh yes. God, yeah, I absolutely love the guy. Just his goals from midfield, that goal away at Chelsea as well. That's probably the crowning moment for me.
Yeah.
But I had a little Google of him earlier.
Yeah.
I remember him going to Scunthorpe, and then after that, I don't really remember. But apparently,
He went to India.
yeah, I was just going to say that 11 games in India.
Yeah.
Absolutely mad. What was going on there?
I think he went and set up a fake Indian Premier League and scammed loads of Russians out of betting. Apparently, so that's what his trick was.
Oh, topical.
Yeah, ooh, topical.
Oh, didn't realise it was Have I Got News for You?
If your Rooney comment the other week wasn't libelous, then that definitely is.
Yeah, true.
That's Tom's aim on each podcast every week to say something more and more libelous until we get sued.
Yeah.
Good come for us, we have nothing.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't cut that Rooney comment yet and plastered that, especially after the DC move for him.
Well, he's in America now. You say,
true.
You're safe.
I wonder what the laws are there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Collins. I think that's a good shout.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here. I was thinking of defensive players. It's when I was picking my team. I've gone for Trevor Schalleber, who we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think really underrated from his time at Town. I know we were a bit crap last season, but I think towards the end of the season, he was playing right back. He played the centre. He's just really
Almost played
I thought he was great.
didn't he?
Yeah, he played everywhere. He scored that good goal against Cardiff, and I just again, it's one of them where this is no disrespect to the Cowleys, but I would have liked to have had him back in another season on loan when we weren't like it wasn't stay up at all costs, because I think he could have been an excellent player for us and one of like our favourite town loanees. So I think Trev for me, liked him a lot. Just seemed to get it as well, like and he seems like a good lad, and I don't know, I was really chuffed when he broke through in the Chelsea team this season, playing Champions League, and I don't know, it just shows we're a good pathway. So I went for Chev.
Nice. Yeah, good shout, Brady.
Yeah, I like that.
Good shout, like that.
Tom?
Interesting one, this. So who do I throw in there first? So I think I'll do it in the order I've got it. So Danny Drinkwater's top of my centre mid list. Only one season, Town. But he played most of it, 33 appearances that season under Clarkey. And all I remember is, so that was like one of his first proper open edge football moves that before, like on loan from United. And I just remember sat behind him so many times where he'd pick the ball up and it'd be the cleanest ping across the field, straight to the other, normally Gary Roberts' feet or something like that, or Pilkington's feet. And I just remember sat there being in awe, like, how this is kind of Premier League quality. The passing was amazing. But other than that, that was the only thing that really got me with him. I thought the technical ability was amazing.
Yeah, he was super classy. Was he in that team with the shirt that you've got on there, Tom? Or was it?
This one. It's this one, isn't it? Millwall, losing to Millwall in the semi-final one.
9-10 season. I just remember people being. The thing I remember about Drinkwater was I just remember people buzzing that we'd got someone from Man U on loan. Just like not even if they're looking big crap. It was just. I think that probably tells you where Town were and how good United were at that point. So
exactly.
Okay, so we got Collins, Trev, and Drinkwater. Who do you think gets the nod?
I'd say Trev. I'd actually kind of forgotten about him until you mentioned. But yeah, I really like Trev. And we had him. Seemed like a good lad as well.
Yeah. Okay. Tom, you happy with Trev, or are you going to state your case?
I really like Michael Collins. He could pick the ball up there.
Yeah, he was.
And take it from basically the edge of our box. There's one goal against Scunthorpe that I'll never forget where he did that. He seemed to take on half the team, slot it away last minute or something like that. Chabela, the good player at Town, so versatile. Brady, who are you saying?
I'm going to go Trev because one, I've not had any of mine feature yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
But also, he was good, and I think he.
So if Joe's going Trev, then it's Trev.
I
Yeah.
think if you left me and Tom to it, we'd basically just pick all the young ones.
Yeah. Get the calendar out.
Yeah. It's fair enough. But also, if we are thinking tactically, Trev can sit, can't he?
Yeah.
Probably cover for Clarkey as much as I loved him. Maybe help him out. Okay, Trev is in. So your next one, Joe. Who do you pick as your next midfielder?
I've gone for Matt Crooks, the one that got away.
The one appearance for Town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what he did wrong in that. No, I can't actually remember the circumstances under which he left. But I don't know. They must have not fancied him to let him go. But he's obviously proved us wrong. And I would have loved to have taken him off Rotherham, but Borough got there. But yeah, he looked really good when he played against us last season as well, in both games, I think. I seem to remember him assisting one and maybe even scored, I can't remember. But yeah, the one that got away.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't even know if there was any transfer rumour truth to it. But after Rotherham got relegated, I was just convinced we were going to go in for him. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Probably because we were signing everyone who played for Town. But
Looks like we sold him in that Premier League season or the Premier League promotion season. So maybe it was a bit like the Lolly situation where we just didn't think we needed him anymore, or something. I don't know. But yeah,
we sold a lot of players around then, though, didn't we? You got rid of Holmes, Windass. There's a few lads, and I think that's kind of what we're trying not to do now, isn't it? Keep hold of players, send them out on loan as much as possible, and then if they did kind of come to that level that those three did eventually, you've got kind of a clause where they're just going to be still your player.
Yeah. No, I like it, Joe. I agree with you. One who got away, I think I'd still have him now. I think he could do a job, especially if Lewis goes. I know the different players, but could do with some midfield additions. Tom, what about you? Who's your second midfielder choice?
Second one down, Damien Johnson. Interesting one, but I do remember the quality shone through. He was on loan for 24 games, and I just remember the ball almost being it stuck to his feet whenever he got it. He was quite a nice little scrappy player as well. He got stuck in, up there with the good feet that I've seen at Town, quick feet, keeping control. I guess the only bad memory is that penalty miss at Wembley, but it all turned out all right in the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
Good shout. Yeah. I'd forgotten about him as well, but yeah, I liked him. A lot.
He was one where it was quite. I think a lot of fans were a bit confused that we didn't sign him. Because he ended up going to Fleetwood after that, and in League Two, I think, and it was a bit of experience. He didn't get injured from it during his time with us or anything. So I thought he'd have done a job for us in the Championship straight away, with that experience in there. But
yeah, strong. I think this guy's got to go in though, because I loved him at Town. And he's
Is it Aaron
still
Moy?
The champion. No, it's not Aaron Moy. We're not allowed Aaron Moy. No Aaron Moy allowed in this. Oliver Norwood, just loved him. I thought he'd made more, but 81 appearances for Town, apparently. But was quite good at free kicks, just tidy midfielder. Just class, really. I realise I've not got the level of energy to be as enthusiastic as Tom, but I think Oliver Norwood speaks for himself. I just thought it was great. Big fan.
Yeah, he was. He was like we were saying about Drinkwater. He had that sort of classiness in his passing. Yeah, I was a big Norwood fan.
So I think so who do you think deserves the nod then in the team? Who's coming in?
It's tough.
So what we got we got Trev there, right?
Trev's in.
Who can do that kind of defensive role.
Yeah. You need a passer, don't you? I know that sounds like I'm going for...
You need the passer, so that probably out of the other lot. Damien Johnson could pick a pass a little. He was a good little passer, but I do for Town, right? Yeah, Johnson was coming to the end of his career. Norwood wasn't at his peak, but he was very good. And then who did you pick, Joe? Sorry, I keep forgetting.
I went Crooks, but that's more based on what he's become rather
Crooks
than...
played one game, so he's out the window, innit? So I think Norwood then. I think if you're going, although depends who we've got coming up next, need a bit of if we're saying Norwood and Trev at their time in Town, I think we need a bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
A goal scorer, an attacking threat.
A bit of experience. That's the word. A bit of experience.
Okay.
So it depends who's coming up next. I think we need to, consider.
So
that.
Is that you saying, Tom? Because Tom's just clearly taken over for us, Joe. Are you saying pencil Norwood in, but maybe tweaked based on the next choice?
Let's see who comes up next.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I think it is Norwood out of those three.
Yeah.
But if we don't have like someone with a bit of experience coming in next, then we might have to potentially think about a rejig. I don't know. What do you guys think? We've got a very experienced back line.
Yeah.
Three in the middle. You need someone with a bit of grab it by a scruff of the neck.
Yeah. I mean, I thought, we've got Trev in there. He can do the defensive work.
Yeah. We've
got Norwood at the moment. So I just think, sprays it around, pick out a pass, probably what you need. But yeah, third midfielder. Who's not been? You've not been for a while, Tom, actually. Who would you go for then? You're talking about experience.
I'm bringing out, I'm pouring a pint of Worthington because it's John Worthington. My first pint of Worthingtons is on the table. 213 games for Town. What a great little player he was. I see he got stuck in. And I guess his career ran long enough to when he was at his peak. When he was at his peak footballing ability, it was at Town, wasn't it? And then he never left. So John Worthington's mine. What a great player. Got stuck in, popped up with the odd good goal now and again. Could dribble as well. There's that goal away at Bournemouth on it where he did pick it up on the edge of the box and took it all the way. Basically slotted it in the bottom corner. That's my first choice there in midfield.
Strong. Joe, who did you pick?
I've gone for Adam Clayton. Nice little attacking. I mean, all my midfield options were pretty attacking, but I think at the moment with the team we've got, he'd be a good little attacking midfielder to have in there. And he dyed his beard blue and white. Which was great to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was good.
I really like Clayton.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
Yeah. No, a lot of time for Clayton. Where's he playing now? Actually, this podcast
Doncaster.
is Doncaster.
I'm pretty sure I saw him in the Doncaster kit when the new kit came out. Because the whole thing with the Doncaster kit this season was it looks just like a rugby shirt, and I was like,
right.
This is the weird thing, right? Their kit launch, it looks like a rugby shirt, but they did the kit launch in a skate park. How's that work?
Weird. You're right, Tom. It is Doncaster. I googled Adam Clayton. I was very disappointed when it came up with one of the guys from U2. Yeah, Doncaster. That's mad.
I didn't
I'm
know
surprised by that. Yeah. No, Joe, I really like Clayton a lot. So I think I'm kind of leaning towards him. Although, lads, I like to pick players based on how good I think they can be. Didn't really see it at Town because he was injured from this season. And in my team, he'd just be given a free role as a number 10 to go out and do your business. Tino Antorin. I think he's one of those. I have nothing to base this on apart from hype. But I think there's something about him. Like I've said it many a time, but when I spoke to that Chelsea fan who covers the loan players, he's the one in our and I know you always hear those stories about the whole they're the one, like you think of Ravel Morrison, for example, but I just think he could really be a difference maker. There is I heard rumours that he's again it's just Twitter, so you don't know, but he could be available for loan again in the Championship, and if I was Town, I'd try and get him back, because I do think like a full season of him when he's fit, I think he could really do something special. So not on his time at Town, but obviously that goal he scored, the penalty he scored against Coventry as well, and we saw what he could do. I thought he was unlucky to not get a run out in the playoff final either. I think Clates would get my vote, but I think Tino probably could be a better player in the long run. It's my
Yeah, I'd back my pick of Clates, but I also, just openly speaking, would like to have Tino back this season. I think it'd be nice to have him for a full season. We saw glimpses, didn't we? We saw glimpses of his dribbling ability and stuff.
Yeah. So just throwing it out there. And who knows, when we did the International Town pod, we asked for Carol Lighton, didn't we? And he signed right after we finished recording. So maybe it could happen. Will it into existence? Who are we going for then? Tom, I know
probably Clates for me.
Clates? Do you think that balances?
I love John Worthington, but yeah, I do, because I think you've got Trev can sweep up, can't he?
Yeah.
You've got Clayton. I thought Clayton for Town was a lot more. He did get stuck in, and he did do more work at the back, I felt, than kind of. He always sticks in my mind as someone who he was just a good centre midfielder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Clates, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with Clates. Okay, so are we happy with our midfield then?
I think so. I think it's pretty well balanced.
Yeah, so we've got Schalleber, Norwood and Clayton. That's good.
Yeah.
That. I like that. Lovely stuff. Okay, so move on to the attackers. So again, we're playing 4-3-3. So we're going for the right wing. So who is your right wing choice, Joseph Scott?
I've gone for probably overall one of my favourite Town players ever, Anthony Pilkington.
Oh.
Some of the goals he scored were just
what player he was, by the way.
What player he was, by the way. Yeah, such a shame about the injury he got, because that really sort of stopped him in his tracks for us. But it was good to see him pull it back a little bit. He was doing all right with Wigan, wasn't he? But yeah, prime Pilks. I think I'd love him in this team right now.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with. Again, I think. We'll come on to my choice in a sec, but again, I just think you've gone for a player I loved more than, even though I think my choice is probably better. But Tom, who did you pick?
Ooh, so yeah, we're going for players that we love, but I'm going again into the history books. I'm going big Town legend coming in here for my second pint of Worthingtons. Frank Worthington. I don't know how you can't leave him out of Return to the Mat though, Brady. I don't know how you can. I know we never saw him play, but I honestly don't know how you couldn't leave Town's second most famous player out. Great hair, great tash at points, style icon in those days. 171 appearances for Town, like that's a good number. Before joining Leicester, where he was at Leicester for quite a while, wasn't he? And scored some right goals. The only thing I particularly I remember him when he would do it was on that episode of Come Down With Me.
Oh God, yeah.
And he made his starter was like an avocado chopped in half, right? And it was him, Razor Ruddock, Carlton Palmer, maybe.
Yeah, I think Carlton Palmer
Yeah,
was on there. Yeah.
and I can't remember who else it was, but what did he say? It was like, and his wife had pre-made this, and he couldn't say it vinaigrette, but he could call it vinaigrette. But he didn't use that. He just used like Malton's vinegar and poured it all over the avocado. And the picture of Razor Ruddock eating the avocado with just vinegar on is priceless.
That's
But
fantastic.
yeah, Frank Worthington, I just think I think it'd be rude not to put his name in there for return to the map, because although us three didn't see him play, he's up there, isn't he, as one of Town's greatest evers.
Tom's really been a kiss ass for the old Town fans in this one, isn't he? He's really playing up to it.
They
No,
probably
no,
don't even know how to get on YouTube, Tom.
Yeah.
Ooh. You'll be getting some hate mail later, you wimp.
I'm kidding.
2 minutes into the podcast, he's like, "Oh, please don't call us wimps in this one." 40 minutes later, don't even know how to use YouTube.
That's not on, is it? It's not on.
Okay, I'll save you, Joe. I made the case for him in my international Town 11. I love him. People know I love him. They've heard me talk about him to death, but I got to see him. Went to see England under 21s at the John Smith Stadium, where they lost 2-1 to Slovenia. Their first defeat in qualifying for a decade, and I was there. Emil Smith Rowe, loved him. Wanted a full season with him at Town. He was class. That, I know people hyped him a lot on Twitter, but I bloody loved him. That Bristol City game, which was the last game I went to before lockdown, he was unreal in that game, and he got absolutely flattened. Was it a penalty? But he just absolutely ran the show, and I just thought if we could have had him for a full season, again, one of them like Trev, if it wasn't in a season where we were so desperate to stay up, I think he could have been. I would have liked to see him under Carlos as well, because I think he would have done bits, but obviously scored the winner against West Brom as well, which sent Leeds up, but pretty much kept us up as well. So
yeah, I was just going to say that was a huge one.
Yeah,
That's
so
a great
I
shout.
love him. I feel like we've got to go Worthington, but I think Smith.
Yeah,
this is a tough one, because I think I all love him. I didn't really see Worthington play, but he just seemed like a character.
Brady, how old are you? You've got a time machine.
I got this thing called YouTube, mate, which I know how to use.
Yeah.
Shall we see how our left wing choices are looking and potentially put Smith Rowe there if he beats the left wing choices? Because I think Smith Rowe is such a good shout.
But that's Smith Rowe.
Is that
Smith
bending
Rowe,
the rules?
Town Smith Rowe. I think.
Yeah, he was good though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was
bloody good.
He was very good, but I think Pilkington was better than Smith Rowe.
Do you reckon?
In Town colours. I don't think we saw enough of him, Smith Rowe. He was very good, but I don't think we saw enough of him to. I mean, obviously, he would have gone on to be the best player in the Championship the next season if we got him on loan again. But Pilkington was class.
He could put people on their arse, couldn't he, so easily? Good crosser, scored so many long ranges, free kicks. God. But yeah, I think Worthington has to take this one, doesn't he? Ultimately.
Probably, yeah.
Fine. Okay, should we pencil Worthington in?
Yeah.
And then we'll come back to it.
Can we just have a water break for a second? It's really hot.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep that in there. Tom, are you fully hydrated? Can we continue the podcast? It's a left winger. Who have you gone for, chaps? Tom, who have you gone for? Have you gone for another Town legend?
Oh, so on the left, here we go. Marcus Stewart is mine, first one.
Ooh.
It's 4-3-3, isn't it? I've just gone 3 attackers up front, so I've gone
Right.
Marcus Stewart, like we did with the centre mid. To be fair, but I just felt like I needed to put him in there, shoehorn him in there, regardless. Quite a few appearances, Town, 133, 58 goals. Probably one of us best strikers in, well, the most recent-ish history, I guess. Who knows what could have happened if Steve Bruce didn't sell him, basically. That season, what were we, second when we sold him?
Yeah. The amount of times I've heard my dad complain about that and what would have happened.
It's just Town fans loved him, didn't they? So
yeah.
There you go. There's mine.
I'm interested
Yeah.
to see who you've got a striker now. Then, if you had to shoe on him in at left wing, but we'll see.
Well, I think we know who he's got a striker, don't we, Joe?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah. I gave it a second's thought and worked it out.
Is it though? I don't.
Oh,
We'll see. Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll get to
I'll
it.
be disappointed. It's like it's like Peter Kay with garlic bread. You've kind of got to do it. Even if you think you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Marcus Stewart. I'm not. Anyway, we'll come on to it. Joe, who'd you go for?
I've gone for Kachunga.
Nice.
Maybe
More
not
of a right winger, but
yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Sorry,
but I just thought, like, maybe not technically the best winger we've ever had, but in terms of like cult status and putting in 110% all the time, that's why he made it.
Yeah, loved him. Yeah, I just I remember. I think I've said on the pod before, but again that season after we've been relegated, when he scored, I think it was against Hull, when it was like our first win on a Saturday in like ages, and he cried, like I'm pretty sure he cried, and I was just like, I've never felt so pleased for someone to score. Kachunga was great. Just like you say, worked his socks off. I'd love to get him on for a pod, actually, if he'd ever be up for it. I'm not sure he's not listening, but Elias, if you are, we'd love you to come on. I like that. I went for someone who, this is just to annoy Matt, really, because I remember when he was on loan for us, again, I've realised I pick a lot of players from this Cowley season, and I don't know why it's sticking with me. But I remember there was rumours that we could have signed him for, I think it was 450k, and we kept trying to haggle with the price. Is the rumours, allegedly, I should say. And Matt was like, "Oh, I don't think he's that good." He also scored the opener against West Brom to keep us up, Chris Willock. I mean, and he's gone on to be QPR's best player, linked with I know he's injured at the moment, but if he can continue the form, he'll be going for 15 million. I just thought it was great, and I thought it deserved a shot. To be honest, it's a bit like he would score something out of nowhere. I think it's a bit like Sinani. Like, I'm a bit surprised we didn't try and get him on a permanent. I feel like people are quite harsh about Sinani, but I think a bit like Willock. I know we had a smaller sample size compared to Sinani, but I think like both of those players are ones that I feel like people were quick to write off, and actually
the ones that got away.
Good. Yeah, ones that got away. I think Chris Willock's one that got away.
Yeah, more so than Sinani. I remember at the time, even with Willock, I was a bit unsure because he could be like a bit up and down, couldn't he?
Yeah.
But in hindsight, I'd take his Town performances for us every week.
He just felt a bit lightweight for us, I think.
Yeah.
That was the only thing, and now he seems to have worked on that with QPR, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely one we should have got.
Yeah.
Maybe the same will happen with Sinani as well next season. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, he'll be in a. Will he be in a? Well, he might not be in a better squad, but he'll have some very good players around him next season, won't he?
Yeah. Okay, so who are we going for then? Who do you think gets left wing? Tom, I would
He's left-footed though, Brady. So
I'm going to have to rule out Marcus Stewart because he's not a left winger.
But he's
there's been
left-footed. He's a left forward. He
There's
could
been
be
a
left
ruling.
forward.
Yeah. Well, we can put it to a vote, but I think I don't think Stewart gets in for me because of that. If you were saying striker,
yeah, Willock and Kachunga. Yeah,
I'll cast my vote for Willock.
probably Willock then. If Brady's not allowing Marcus Stewart to go on the left wing, but I didn't know it was left wing. I just thought it was a free up top, like a flat front three almost, 4-3-3.
That famous formation where you just play three strikers.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Anyway,
I mean,
go on.
If you've put Stewart on the left wing so you can shoehorn Alan Lee in, you've only got yourself to blame.
No, I'm not. It's not Alan Lee. I'm not picking Alan Lee for once.
Okay, Willock's going in then. Striker, final position. So Tom, it's not Alan Lee then. I'm amazed. Who is it?
Bouvet.
Fair.
What, like who else could it have been? You didn't get in this international one, which apparently was out of order.
Who?
You said on the pod.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Nearly.
That is out of order.
Over 400 town appearances, I think, over 130 goals. Yeah,
got to be Bouvet in it.
Yeah, got to get Bouvet in there, I think.
Imagine
the brilliant skill from Worthington down the right and just probably putting it on his head every time. Yeah. Ping, ping, ping. Yeah, Bouvet.
I mean this in a respectful way as well. But anyway, I'm making the case for you, but we don't have that many cloggers in this team. And Bouvet was a great clogger, but like a class. Do you know what I mean? Like I loved him, but he
clogger
was just
to us, though. A clogger to us.
Yeah, exactly. Not in a bad way.
Warnock Bouvet is like different, isn't he? Like when he could actually run before his knees went. And he got that move to Spurs and Sheff Wednesday. But yeah, the Bouvet we were brought up with was almost a little bit of a comical figure. Sorry, Bouvet. But it was like whenever he came out, it was like, "Go on, Bouvet!"
Yeah.
But he still bloody scored.
Oh yeah,
he still knocked him in.
Some of his headers.
Didn't he score a goal with his feet in his last game at Leighton Orient away?
He scored a goal with his feet.
One of them, like
when he was through one finishes. He was like through 1-on-1 and he slid it under the keeper, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, Bouvet's got to be in there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Although we've never done this though, have we? Technically, he retired at Town, so did he ever really leave the Mac? Because he's even still there now, isn't he? So
yeah, that's true. That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
that's for
you'd
another,
sold me, but then you took him out. You've given us an out. Okay, I'm going to jump in. I don't. Again, another player I love. Everyone knows how much I love this player. I will die on this hill, but I am convinced he is a 20 goal a season striker in the Championship, and no one can change my mind. Steve Mounier, loved him. I think we just never played to him properly. Especially, can you imagine Steve Mounier on the end of Sorba Thomas's crosses? Just, 20 goals right there. Yeah. Totally loved him. He loved Marston's chicken. That video where he's in the fire engine and he's just singing his own song. Heard rumours that he told Leeds fans to do one when they tried to get pictures with him. Just a man who got it. I think fairly unfairly criticised at times in the Premier League. But yeah, I just scored some big goals for us as well.
Big fan. It's a good shout.
Bring him back. I would have him in the team now. I still think he can do it.
Yeah.
He scored more goals than Messi in Ligue 1 last season. So there you go. What does that tell you? 20. Saying it, if Mitrovic can score 40 odd or whatever he did, Mounier can get 20 in the Championship if you play to him properly. Anyway, Although compared to Boothie, like you say, Tom, you've given me an out. He's technically never left the back, so how could he return to
Yeah,
it?
true.
It's a bit of a philosophical one, that, isn't it?
There's
Yeah.
I have to have a think about
Yeah. Joe, who do you go for?
that. I've gone for Naki Wells.
Oh,
Yeah, fond memories. Pace, good pace up front, nice finisher. I think he would do a job in the squad now. Not the return to the Matt squad where we've picked, but the town squad now. I think he'd do a job. And he could take a penalty, which I
yes.
think is something we struggled with last season. So yeah, that's why I've gone for Naki.
Good shout.
Yeah.
Good
I
front
like Naki.
three there.
I think we could realistically get him back as well. I don't know what his situation is, or has he moved from Bristol?
I think they're
No,
talking
yeah.
about getting rid, aren't they?
Didn't play much, did he, last season?
I'd have him.
Yeah, I think they were talking about maybe because he's 32 now, and I swear I saw a rumor where they were like, let him leave on a free. I mean,
Yeah.
Town love a former striker, don't
I'd
they?
have him. I'd have him.
God, imagine that. Danny Ward, Jordan Rhodes, and Naki Wells back.
That would be
I
great.
don't, yeah, it's like
Get
a
Boothie out of
museum,
retirement as well.
a museum of town strikers.
Well,
Come
to be
and
fair, we
see
did that a
the
couple of seasons.
animatronic strikers of Huddersfield Town.
Well, to be fair, when we were crap in Carlos's first season, we clearly watched Premier League years 2013 because we had Fraser Campbell, Umar Nias, and
Yeah.
Sonogo.
Yeah, true.
All right, okay, so we got Wells, Mounier, and Boothie. I loved Naki Wells. And also we would have a front three of Worthington, Wells, and Willock, and that just sounds great, doesn't it?
Ooh, it does, yeah.
It does. But I think you need either Mounier or Boothie.
I'm
You need a bit
gonna
of difference.
I'm gonna say Boothie for me. I think Mounier, quality level, is the best out of them lot. But you gotta have a bit of the love Boothie had for Town and the love we had for him. I think you've got to take that into account as well. So I'd go Boothie. That's my vote.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you need a big lad who's going to win headers. And although Boothie won massive, but he wins an header, doesn't he? And just over Mounier, I think he gets in as a return to the mark.
Yeah. Okay.
I love Steve Mounier though. What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill with you, Brady, about the 20 goals as well.
Yeah, agreed. Especially now with Sauber, blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, he could also. Do you remember that goal he scored against Blackburn where he just absolutely smashed it from yards? Yeah,
what a goal.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with you too, lads. I think it's hard to look past Boothie. As much as I loved the other two, I just think Andy Boothie's Town and the fact that it didn't make it in national Town 11 is criminal, to be fair. So, Boothie's going in. All right, so we're happy with the team. Do you want me to read out and then we'll see if there's any?
Yeah.
Okay, so in goal we have Nico Vasson, right back Lee Peltier, centre back pairing of Christopher Schindler, Peter Clark. We have Ray Wilson as left back. Then we've got a midfield three of Trevor Schalleber, Oliver Norwood, and Adam Clayton. And our right winger is Frank Worthington. We've got Andy Booth up front, and we've got Chris Willock on the left. That is Chris Willock's such a weird one at the end.
Chris Willock is going to raise questions, I tell you that. But it's the formation 4-3-3, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah. I love how none of us picked Carl and Grant, famous for being left wing.
Yeah, true. Actually.
Oh yeah.
But you know what?
Can't go back now. There's no.
We love a bit of controversy.
Okay, so squeeze Stewart in, didn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he can be a mascot.
Okay, so before we go, chaps, we've got a manager to pick. So we all picked one, didn't we? So
yes.
So based on the team, actually. So anyway, tell me who your manager is, and then obviously we'll judging our team. We can argue who we think would get the best out of it.
I've gone for Peter Jackson as manager. Just because
legend.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what else to say.
There's not much more.
There isn't
you
much.
can say.
No. If
No.
nobody's watched the Great Escape DVD, it's available on YouTube. I would watch that. He's a very, very funny guy as well. So yeah, I'm going Jacko.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, strong. Tom, who'd you go for?
Oh, return to the Mac.
Manager.
Best 11 manager. What? We've had some good managers over the years.
Yeah.
Herbert Chapman, Ian Greaves, Bill Shankly,
Jan Seaver.
Jan Seaver, yeah. Mick Wadsworth.
Chris Powell.
Yeah, Chris Powell, Mark Robbins, Andy Ritchie.
Andy Ritchie. Bloody hell.
Difficult, very difficult. But I had to go with Sir David of Wagner for my choice. I don't know who's going to work best with these players though, but I think Wagner in his prime, that first season and keeping us in the Prem, tactical genius at times. Him and Christoph, brilliant pair, brilliant manager. Wonder if we'll ever have a manager like him again. Just like he brought, I think, apart from Jacko, when bringing the club back from the ashes basically and bringing the fans back together, Wagner that season changed a lot, didn't he? Changed that stadium really. I mean, would we even be in the blooming cowshed without that season and stuff? And I think we were dying to get fans in that part because used to just be outsung by 4,000 fans every other week because you give them that whole end that just echoes better than anywhere else as well. So yeah, Wagner for me, Brady.
Yeah, hard to disagree. Someone I think could have matched him potentially. Obviously, we did an emergency pod, which check this out the way. Carlos, I picked just because I like to cause a little bit of controversy. That's what wimps do. But having said this, judging on the team, I think Carlos would like the midfield, but I can't see Carlos working with Boothie. I just don't see him liking Boothie as a player at all.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think, I don't know, my vote for our manager, he was our International Town 11 manager as well. But
yeah,
he was. I think Jacko, because you got Clark in there and you got Boothie and you got Worthington. I just feel like Jacko's going to gel better with them.
Yeah. I do think Boothie had done a job under Wagner though. When you think of the strikers that Wagner, especially who he brought in the Premier League and stuff.
Yeah. Are you saying
but
Boothie
no,
is a lot like Lauren DePotre?
Yeah. I think Peter Jackson. You give me the option to pick Peter Jackson, I'm picking Peter Jackson.
Yeah. I think you're also right in the justification. It probably does suit this team better. Wagner was pragmatic, but I think this team needs a Jacko.
I love Jacko. Gaffer. What a legend. Favourite ever town manager for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Peter Jackson is in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's the team then, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a team. I'm sure
Great
there'll be plenty of vigorous debate about who should have gone where and who we've missed out, but pick your own team. That's the beauty of life.
Fantastic.
It certainly is. And Tom's right. You'll probably disagree with us. Good, that's what we want. So if you think our team's crap, use the hashtag return to the Mac 11 and send your own. But remember, no Aaron Moy allowed. So good luck. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a good one, a nice one. And fingers crossed when we've, come off record and no one's been sacked or resigned or, anything's happened. But just before we go, Joe, you put a little message in our chat. You wanted to give a shout out to someone, didn't you? Or a welcome, I should say.
Yeah. A very big welcome to Kyle Hudlin. He signed for the B team, but I'd like to see him get a shot at the first team this season at least.
Pathway, innit? Did you hear his
Yeah,
interview?
exactly.
It's all about the pathways, Joe.
I haven't.
About
I've heard it's
pathways.
good. I had a friend say it was very. He spoke very well. So yeah. Looking forward to him. I'm glad we signed him.
Yeah. Again, a 6'9" striker. So Thomas crosses.
Yeah, that's gonna be dangerous.
And to be fair to him, if you look at his highlights reel, though, it's good. I don't want to use the I'm going to use the cliche. Good touch for a big lad.
Yeah.
Some nice little tidy finishes there. So that is exciting. And I don't know. I just love that. Even though I'm sure, this just sounds really harsh putting him down, and I'm sure he'll be really good and like progressing the B team. But there is something I love about you could just see us as sod it, we need to get a goal, just sticking him on and having Sorge whip absolutely everything into him.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing that on a cold, wet midweek match in November sometime.
Absolutely.
So I think we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed this Return to the Mac pod. And if you enjoy the silly ones, let us know and we'll do more of them because we enjoyed doing them. So nice distraction, isn't it, lads?
It is.
Lovely stuff. Anything you guys want to say?
Say before tell you what, in this heat, Brady, it'd be good if there was some sort of code or discount somewhere for a nice beer. Do you know of anything?
Oh, Tom, I'd completely forgotten. But yes, we are sponsored by Magic Rock Brewing. And Tom, you could use code AHTTC10 and get yourself 10% off all online orders at Magic Rock Brewing. And do you know what? Beer in the sunshine, it's like, it just goes, doesn't it? Beer in the sun.
Exactly.
So, nice little plug there, Tom. You should work in sales. Always remembering.
You should.
Yeah, well, maybe. We're all working in sales. Life is one big sale.
True. That's true.
Tom, we're going to go before Tom. Tom's like that guy in a smoking area on a night out who just talks philosophical crap here. So we'll go. But thanks for listening. We will be back. Don't know, to do an interesting pod maybe. So keep
with an Alan Lee special probably because he didn't get mentioned in this pod at all.
So look forward to that and see you later and up the town.
There's a team that is dear to its followers. The colours are bright blue and white. They're a team of renown, and they're the pride of the town, and the game of football is their delight. And all the while upon the field of play, thousands loudly cheer them on the way. Often you can hear them say, who can beat the town today? And then the bells will ring so merrily, and every goal shall be a memory. So town, play up and bring that cup back to Huddersfield. So town, play up and bring the cup back to Huddersfield.